So today's class, the webinar that we have is going to be on the requirements for a statement of special inspections as outlined in Chapter 17 of the Building Code. We have taught this a couple of times for SK Ghosh in the past on the 2015, and today we're going to be focusing on the 2018 code. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and get started. Again, we're going to be on the 2018 IBC. For those of you that are in California or in other areas where we adopt our own codes, it really, the CBC or New York codes or the Chapter 17 special inspection provisions are pretty well identical to what you see in the IBC. We're going to start with just kind of an introduction of special inspections, make sure we all understand what they are, who they're performed by, how we got to where we are in the codes today. And then we'll delve into the actual statement of special inspection requirements. And I'm just going to call it an SSI to make it a little briefer throughout. We'll delve into that. We'll talk about the specific inspections and tests that are required by the building code, whether they're structural or non-structural. We'll discuss some miscellaneous items we should all be aware of, things like structural observation or the contractor's statement of responsibility. And then we're going to get into some examples, and we're going to develop project-specific statements of special inspection, SSIs, just so we can all get a feel for what we should be seeing on the construction documents, on the plans in relation to an SSI. Okay, so first, an introduction, and I want to highlight as we get in there, let's look at this picture that we see where we have a concrete field testing technician. So he went and he got a sample from the back of the truck in his wheelbarrow, and he didn't take the very first that was coming off, right? He got somewhere in the middle after some of the concrete came out. Right away, he probably put his temperature gauge in there, and he figured out what the temperature, and he noted down the temperature of the concrete. Here's his base for his slump cone test that he did, and he checked the slump of the concrete. You could tell that it looks like he's got his air testing mechanism working, so he's verifying the amount of air that's in there. He found a flat level surface where he could start to make his cylinders and form those up appropriately. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot that he's already done in this picture, and we're going to refer back to that. And the reason I chose a concrete one here is because I think most of us see this all the time. We're most familiar with seeing field special inspections and tests being performed on concrete samples. But there's a lot. It's not just, hey, they're taking cylinders. They're verifying the temperature. They're checking the slump. They're doing the air. They're making sure they have a level surface. They're trying to make sure the samples are kept in a similar type of environment as the actual concrete will be kept in. So, and we'll refer back to this. All right, so first of all, whether or not we are working for a building department or we are the design professional in responsible charge on this project, why should we be concerned about the special inspection requirements for a particular project? There's a few quotes that I'd like to share. One in Structure Magazine in 2016, and this is to the design professional. It says, "You can help protect yourself from liability, provide a better product to the owner, and provide an increased level of life safety." I mean, just knowing that you can protect yourself from liability is enough, but then knowing this is going to allow a way to make sure you have a better product provided to the owner. You're going to improve life safety. There's a lot of reasons why we should be making sure special inspections are clearly outlined for each project. And then in Civil and Structural Engineer magazine in 2014, it said, "There is probably no single act that an engineer can do that is as effective at reducing his or her liability exposure as performing inspections during construction." And in this instance, they're actually saying performing inspections. We'll talk about structural observations, but we also need to make sure we talk about, well, should we even have the engineer of record performing some of these special inspections? And that is something that's outlined. So again, special inspections for the design professional is going to If you outline it correctly, it will limit your liability. It's going to provide a better product to the owner, and it's going to provide an increased level of life safety to the public. So we need to be focused. And for those same reasons as enforcement personnel, if we work for a jurisdiction, we need to pay special attention to the special inspection provisions that are outlined. As a plan review engineer, I almost on every single project make comments on the statement of special inspections. So we'll get into that.